Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Meet the Members of Power Africa. Before I present our distinguished guest, I'm excited and honored to host this terrific podcast that we've also turned into a virtual networking event. My name is Shai Bernstein. I'm VP of Biz Dev and Partnerships at Empower Africa. And we're having more and more of these. And now we're having actually also, in addition to the Meet the Members distribution of the podcast that we have every day a different member. We also are now having once a week, every Monday at 5 p.m. CAT, Central African Time, this virtual networking event, and each time with a highlighted member. So those of you who are joining us for the first time, Empower Africa is a business community with a mission to drive investment, trade, and job creation in Africa. We believe in trade over aid, and that business is the best way to grow, build, and create sustainable and scalable solutions. We believe in bringing good people together and in the power of synergy. And our goal is to create the connections, optimize communications, and maximize the collaboration that can be done. The Empower Africa Business Network is basically bringing together all of the relevant stakeholders who are doing business in Africa to one table. So that would be the SMEs and the startups, investors, banks, PEs, VCs, multinational enterprises, government officials, nonprofits, all to one table. Everyone has this tremendous value that can be, enhanced when communication and collaboration together for driving investment, trade, and job creation in Africa. So, speaking of bringing good people together, it's my pleasure and honor to present our guest for this event, Rob Hersov. Rob is an entrepreneur and investor from South Africa, based in Cape Town at the moment. Rob, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks, Shai and Ezzy, and well done, Empower Africa. It's amazing. I love this bouncing around the rooms. I hope it didn't scare too many people.
I'm sure you didn't. It's great. Okay, so as you know, first we want to just, give the stage to our members. And so please, Rob, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, let me just do the speed dial. So I was born in Johannesburg to one of the wealthiest mining industrial families, Anglo-Vaal. So none of you need to buy me lunch, that's what I'm saying. And then I've pretty much done everything in my 60 years. Every opportunity I was given, I took, and I've had success, failure, success, traveled the world, spent 31 years in America, Europe, and the UK, and came back to South Africa 4.5 years ago. I've built a number of businesses. I've written off a number of businesses, but I built a number of businesses that are mainly London-based and Africa-focused. Invest Africa, African Capital Investments. I did the first African SPAC, African Gold Acquisition Corp. I bought an airport, not a football team, an airport, and I've launched a bunch of tech businesses. And I've got one big one, my big final swan song to be announced. But I love the continent. I've been to 35 of the 55 countries. I've met extraordinary people. Once it's in your heart and your soul, you want Africa to be a success and people in Africa to achieve their potential.
Fantastic. Yes, very, very true. I love the way you're, so open about your journey and talking about, successes along with failures. I think that's very important for everyone to do that, and for all of us to kind of look at that, because that's inspiring and that's how we grow, right? Someone smart once told me, you win some, you learn some.
I love that.
And speaking of which, we've had a couple conversations about great quotes, right, in the past. So we'll save that to the end. Could you share with us exciting projects that you've been working on lately, or that you're interested in doing when you're looking at the Africa, tech ecosystem or any other space like that?
So my wife gets really angry with me when I say to her, I've got a new idea. She goes, I promise not to do anything else. Because this year has been kind of ridiculous. It's launching a SPAC, buying an airport, 2 tech companies that I've backed, an NFT company and a digital data analytics company. But the big news, and we haven't fully announced it, is that 2 of the biggest names in tech in the world, Hans Otterling of North Zone, principal of North Zone, 12 unicorns, in Spotify, Klarna, Hopin, iZettle, and Niklas Adelbert, the co-founder of Klarna, the most valuable private tech company in Europe, 46 billion US dollars, who's also founded the Norshen Foundation. The three of us have founded a fund, an African Growth Technology Fund. So we do late Series A, B, C, D technology, fintech, edutech, health tech, and a kind of catch-all called market enablement. And we've hired what we think is the top team in Africa, an amazing woman in Johannesburg, an amazing woman in Lagos, an amazing guy in Nairobi. They're going to do the work. And Hans Nicholas and I and the GP team have put up $20 million. And we have 24 of the international unicorns who've put up another 50 to 55 million already. So we're at 70 odd million and we've just begun the fundraising.
Wow.
So the reason I'm so excited about this is I think technology is going to take Africa to the level it deserves to be. We're going to unlock human ingenuity, and it will happen through technology. And Africa's time is now.
Amen. Amen. Definitely. That sounds incredible. And it's amazing how you're bringing all these masterminds and mavens to one table, each one with his experience. It sounds fantastic. So, I mean, looking at the Empower Africa Business Community, right? Who would you like to connect with? Any other one of your organizations or entities, right? Who would you like to be connected with within the Empower Africa Business community and in general?
So I've got my other businesses, but I really now need to focus on this one, Norshen 22, the technology fund. So we're looking to meet entrepreneurs and venture capital companies that might have been looking overseas, Silicon Valley and Europe, for its late Series A, B, C, D. We want them to call us first because we are Silicon Valley and Europe, boots on the ground in Africa. And what we want to do is see those opportunities, lead them, write a big check, and then bring the international investors in behind us. That's what we love. So if anyone's got a tech business or thinking of starting one, now is the time because we'll have our money Q1 and we'll be ready to write checks.
Fantastic. You hear that, everyone? That's incredible news, and it's incredible news for the rest of the Empower Africa business community. By the way, everyone who's listening to us now, there is a Q&A option on the right side of the screen where you can feel free to write your questions, and Rob will be happy to answer them for the limited time. So please feel free. Wonderful, Rob. That sounds amazing, and I think that really taps into one of the biggest gaps that we have right now, because a lot of the ecosystem is fragmented, right? In other words, when you go to SF or New York or Tel Aviv for that matter, all you got to do is have a good company with a good MRR of a couple 10 or 20 grand, and you got VCs and PEs all over you, right, throwing money at you. Whereas there's so many incredible entrepreneurs across the African continent who are doing much more than necessarily 20K a month, right? And the visibility and the connectivity between them and the capital is just extremely limited, right?
Do you know what's so exciting is there are a billion people in Africa. 60% are under the age of 25. The average age is 19. Within the next 10 years, every one of those young people will have a smartphone connected to super fiber and the internet. Everyone.
Right.
And even somebody in a rural area, there's no excuse anymore to have the same teacher in a small classroom for all the subjects for the next 10 years. You're just going to go straight to Israel, India, America, Harvard, Yale, wherever. Medicine, instead of traveling 10, 20 kilometers to see, the doctor in the village, telemedicine, straight into Switzerland, straight into Germany, wherever. Education. Hans Ottiling and I were in Nairobi 3 months ago, and Hans asked him about this taxi driver about what's the biggest change in your life? He goes, this thing. He said, 2 years ago, I had to spend half a day queuing up at my bank to draw money and half a day to pay rent into my landlord's bank. I now do it in 30 seconds. I've got a day a month or 12 days a year, more income. It's changed my life. And more of that's going to come.
Yeah.
And it's digital, it's technology. I'm so excited.
100%. And also, of course, is very similar to the leapfrog, as called, of, the landlines, right? That so many countries in Africa, you just get the smartphone, not even the smartphone, even just the cell phone, and that leapfrog. And then when you look at the smartphone and think of the capabilities, it's incredible. It's amazing. Before we go, you know what? Why don't we maybe look now at a few questions, and then when we wrap it up, we'll go to the quote, okay?
Janet Pahima asks, are we looking for companies or projects with tech designated to address issues in Africa, but are based somewhere else, like Israel? The answer is, as long as the majority of revenues will be coming out of Africa and there'll be teams in Africa, yes, we're interested. And I think question number 2 doesn't have a name. Rob, I'm not in the tech space. Is this only for tech? Yes, it is. It's tech and tech enabled. We don't want to have an e-commerce investment that has retail outlets. We want to be pure tech.
Yeah. And I see here a question from Ira Green. He's saying, what are the verticals that you're seeking to finance specifically within that tech? Yeah.
So edutech, health tech, fintech, and then there's an area we call market enablement, and it's a bit of a catch-all for e-commerce, agri-tech, regulation tech, reg tech, anything that facilitates a market. We can do tech-enabled, and we can do some venture, but we really want to have businesses that have revenue, a team, preferably recurring revenues, and something that we can help accelerate massively within the country, across Africa, and even internationally.
Fantastic. Wow. I love it, Rob. Okay, let's see what else we have here. How do you deal with the policy and regulations that change a lot in Africa?
So what's held Africa back, in my view, more than anything else, is bad governance. You know, you get old style dictators or bad governments, or, you know, that just hold people back. And the young people and the tech people are going to leapfrog bad governance. You know, we're not going to put up with bad education from the government. We're just going to pick the best education in the world. We're not going to just be forced to have the healthcare that, you know, our tax money provides, if it ever gets there. Right. We're going to go direct to the best. And businesses are going to come out of Africa that will be deployed in the rest of the world. Watch my words. I'm so excited that we're going to show the world how to do certain things. You're going to have certain solutions coming out of Africa that the Americans, Europeans, and even the Israelis haven't thought of.
Fantastic, fantastic. There's another question here. Will you fund innovation hubs?
Okay, so that's a very interesting comment. So one of the 3 founders, Nicholas Adelbert, the co-founder of Klarna, took some of his money off the table. I think it was 600, 700, 800 million, a small chip for him, because he said, I've made more than enough money that I'll ever need, and I want to make the world a better place. And he set up a tech hub in Stockholm, Norrsken House, has 450 entrepreneurs who are all developing activist businesses, and he helps fund them. He's doing the same in Kigali. He's put $20 million to build a hub in Kigali. He's then going to do Nairobi, Lagos, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. So, like, you know, in America, it just used to be Silicon Valley. Now it's Silicon Valley, New York, Boston, Austin, Texas. In Europe, it was really kind of London, and it was very provincial 15 years ago. Now it's London, Stockholm, Amsterdam, you know, Berlin. And the same is happening in Africa. The same is happening. Hubs are coming together. So he's going to build these tech hubs in these cities. He's also not taking any of his carry out of the fund. He's putting all of it back through his foundation into Africa. Amazing guy, Nicholas Adelbert.
Right. Fantastic. So last question, because we want to keep some more time for networking and wrap it up. Someone's asking here, Gideon's asking, so how do I make the pitch for the funding? How do we connect? So, I mean, I know it's not, you know, ready yet, but yeah, please.
So we expect first close of about $120 million, end of Q3, early Q4, and final close Q1. But we can start deploying capital probably October, November, December. But if you've got an opportunity, send it to me. It goes into our pipeline. And if it fits the verticals, fits what we're looking for, you know, you'll definitely get a call. We're going to start, you know, getting things ready. But we won't be able to invest until, let's call it September, October, November.
Right. So where should they send it to?
Well, I can send it to Shai and Ezzy in Empower Africa, or send to roberthersov.com. I'm easy to find. I really am.
Fantastic. And as Rob mentioned, definitely feel free to reach out to me or anybody on the Empower Africa team in relation to this and anything involving, driving investment, trade, and job creation in Africa. Before we wrap it up, Rob, as we always do with our guests.
Hold on, Dan Ryan. Hi, Rob. Are you interested in co-funding with a US-based VC? Yes, we are. Sorry, Shai.
Fantastic. No, go ahead. It's good. I'm pretty sure that if we keep this going, we're going to have a lot of great questions and a lot of dynamic. So I think that, again, we always like to wrap it up with a quote or saying that our guest resonates with. So please, Rob, what's your quote or saying?
There are two that I really love. The one is, life is a mystery to be lived, not a problem to be solved. But the one I'm going to give you today is, happiness is three things, and you got to have all three, okay? Something to do, something to love, something to look forward to. And if you lose any of those, you're not fulfilled. If you have all three, you're happy, and you'll have a grin like mine and Shai all day. Listen, I'm very proud of everyone. I'm very proud of Empower Africa. We're gonna show the world. We really are, us Africans.
Yes, definitely are. And Rob, thank you for joining us. Ezzy, you want to say a few words?
I just wanted to take a second on stage and thank Rob personally as well for the great work that you're doing in Africa. And I know a lot of the work that you're doing is very inspiring and inspires us every day. Very proud of what Invest Africa has been doing on the continent, and very exciting to see the evolution from mining family to somebody that's really fully and deeply internalized the tremendous human potential in Africa, and is not just thinking and communicating it, but really taking action. And thank you for your leadership, and I wish you much success with the new fund. And there's no doubt Africa's on the rise. Tech is the direction, and you're going to be very successful. So thank you.
Come visit me in Cape Town.
Will.
Thank you. God bless you,
Rob.
See you in the room.
Yes.
See you soon.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.